the job market's getting tougher and tougher by the day. So Paul just wrote in and he said that, hey, there's less jobs available. I'm having issues. He sent me a Reddit post. I'm telling you, this is something that is really concerning if the jobs aren't there. So thanks, Paul, for writing in. So let's see what they're talking about. So on Reddit, I've applied to over 2,400 jobs in the last 18 months. This is about 133 a month. And I'm paid for under 40. Okay, the job listings are gone. So this is really concerning. And people don't job search on a daily. So they're not experts at it. You don't sell your house on a daily either. You go see expert advice. And I know something about that because I've been in the job search field for years now by default because of Ali. So let's unpack this. If you are searching for a job for a year and you haven't gained any traction, you're doing something wrong and you need help. And I've got another email showing right here that this guy, Eric, wanted me to help him. I came in and he's like, I'm struggling so much. I'm struggling. It's my resume. I can't get an interview. So I said, hey, most likely it's not only the resume. There's processes and steps that you got to do to actually get an interview nowadays. It's competitive. And so people don't understand. This is the first thing you got to realize. It is not 2019. If you think back on how easy it was in 2019, you basically sent a half chewed up resume to somebody and they gave you an interview because everybody was hiring. Now, when you're looking at all these layoffs, and go watch my videos, all these layoffs, all these crazy layoffs. So now I'm telling you, what do you need to do to stand out? Because I had another comment today that said, one of my viewers is actually hiring manager for a bigger company, and they were saying in the comments, and you can go look back on, I think it was 2 videos ago, and I pinned it, and they said that a year or two ago, they've put a job listing online, and in a week, they got 50 to like 80 resumes. Now, in today's market, they've put that same job up because they finally got the green light, and in a matter of days, they got 2,000 applications. And now you're looking at it like, 2,000 applications. So what are you doing, Eric, to stand out? And what are you doing to actually get an interview? How are you going to get noticed in a sea of resumes of 2,000 people, right? So in 2019, I always reference that because those were like the glory days where everybody was hiring, everybody had money, and it's kind of short, it's haven't been past so long, right? So now you're looking at it like, okay, why was 2019 so good? Everybody was hiring, right? There was free money, everybody had COVID money, everybody was hiring. And now all these big dogs, these big companies are laying off. And there's some really impressive people that are actually let go, that have been fired because the company downsized, their department wasn't doing it. So now you're competing with some real heavy hitters that are probably way better skilled than you are. So what do you do to stand out? People aren't going to hire the best person according to the resume. They're going to hire the best person overall, and that kind of presents themselves as the best candidate. And you need to know the tools. So I had a conversation with Eric trying to get to understand his situation. And I said, hey, you should really consider joining a community, a job search community. You should really join Ali's community or something like it. That's like $99 a month. And that gets you the resume templates. They get you the what do you call it? They get you the networking template. So what she does is basically she gives you all the tools to network that's proven that hundreds of people gotten jobs. And I said, you should consider, it's like $90 and a month, and you get all the templates. You get to join calls where you can actually live Q&As where there's other career expert, other career coaches on there, and you can actually ask them questions about your case. What do you do? They help you with salary negotiations. They do all this stuff. So now you're looking at it like, why would I do that? Why would I even consider hiring somebody to help me in a job search? Well, we do that anyways. We do that in the medical field. If you have an issue with your body, you go hire a doctor because he took classes, He's certified. If you want to go do legal advice, you go find a lawyer. If you want to go and sell your house, you go to a realtor, because they do it all the time. And sure, you can do all these things by yourself. And now I'm looking at it like, hey, in this market, who do you think is going to stand out better? If you have a career coach that's been doing it for so many years, that knows all the in and outs, and that has networking, that knows what these roles pay for, they know what you're going to get with salary negotiations. And I've seen this, that somebody was like, with Allison's career catalyst group, somebody was in there. They're like, I just got let go as a engineer, and I'm trying to get rehired. And they got rehired with $30,000 more a year. So now I'm looking at it like, what's the ROI of spending a few $100s or $1,000 on actually getting a raise, on getting all that? And now I know you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, career coaches are a scam. I say, yeah, there's scams out there everywhere. There's scamming doctors, there's scamming lawyers, scams out there's car dealership that scams. And now you're like, oh, I can do it everything myself. Of course you can. Everybody can do it themselves. You can do the brakes on your car yourself. You can rebuild the engine of yourself. But if you don't have the knowledge on how to do it, you might make it worse. And this guy on Reddit sending out 2,400 applications, probably doing something wrong. So you need to figure out what it is. And if you're not going to get professional help, because you're not doing it, you're like job searching every 2 to 3 years. And in the last few years, you were in an upwards market. And when the market goes up and the tide goes up, it lifts all boats. So it makes it easier for everybody. But now you're in a tough spot. You're competing with somebody from Facebook, with somebody from Meta, a FAANG company. And now they're like, who should I hire? Should I hire somebody that's from a FAANG company that's really qualified, or should I hire this person, Eric, or this other person? And then you got to think about it. Is it worth shortcutting and getting the tools you need to step it up, to step up this job search? And I used to think, no. I used to think, yeah, it wasn't worth it because of 2019, before it wasn't too hard to get a job. Now, you're lucky to have a job. And you can see in the comment section that there's all people saying, man, I'm so blessed to have a job, or I'm retired, so I don't need it. But if you're still in the workforce, you're in your 30s, you have your bills paid, how long are you going to lapse and say, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose your house because you're stubborn, because you don't want to accept help and you don't want to spend a few dollars doing it? Because you don't need to get an oil change at a mechanic shop. You can do it yourself in the driveway. You can also do the brake job in your garage. You can do it all. But is it going to save you time? And maybe it is worth hiring somebody to help you. And if you want to, shoot me an email and I can point you in the right direction. And it's in the about section of my profile, and I see if I can help you, just like I tried to help Eric. But it's not going to be for free. I'm sorry. Most people that I know in my field are going to charge something because they value their profession. And I'll guarantee you, you're going to get a good fit if you're in that field and if you want to do it. And if not, you can always message me and say, hey, this person hasn't treated me right. I need a refund. Help me get a refund. And I will talk to him and see if I can get you that refund. But if you're not going to do it, if you're not going to spend the money and actually forward your career, you're going to be stuck. And then you're going to keep sending resumes. It's going to get rejected. ATS, the applicant tracking system, is just not going to approve you. You're going to have issues. And you're going to keep going. You're going to get burnt out. And all of a sudden, your house is going to be on the line. You're going to move back in with your parents. But hey, if that's what you want to do and be stubborn, go ahead. Because once all this settles and the market's going to rise again, you'll find a job. It's just a matter of time. Unless you do something wrong and you're sending out 2,400 applications and you're not getting a job. The definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So now I'm asking you, is it worth doing it while it is a tough job market? If you can send out just an intro, a referral or something, and you get in and you get a job, great. But not everybody has that opportunity. Most people do not have those opportunities. So now, if you're in a spot like that, you should really, really consider spending some money and finding somebody that can actually help you. Because when when you're going to get a job, it's going to pay off. And you can then say, hey, if I get a job a week earlier, the whole thing's paid for. So all that you need to do is value your time and value money, and think of it as a logical equation and not an emotional one. When you're looking at it from perspective of, hey, if I hire somebody to help me out, and it's going to be 2 weeks and I can get a job 2 weeks earlier, and they'll help me even negotiate a better raise, then all of a sudden you're like, was probably worth the money, right? Especially if you were looking at paying, like, I'm not so confident. I probably should go in for 100. And somebody, a career coach in your corner says, hey, the range is actually way higher. This is the comps, and we should see what they're gonna offer. And I think you can get at least 110, 120 for software person. And I've seen it. I've personally seen it. So now you're like, should I do it or not? Because it's just a matter of time till there's more and more layoffs. And now we're running into a season where it's holidays. So interviews are going to be harder to schedule because people are going to have to take paid time off if they don't want to use it or lose it. So it's just a matter of time till you're going to be into next year. And then you've been job searching for 2 years. And then when you're going to be in the interview, they're going to ask you, what have you been doing for 2 years? Oh, I've been on my job search. Why would a company, now you got to look at the company's perspective, why would you hire somebody that's been on a job search for 2 years? Seems like, there's probably been a reason why he's been job searching for so long. And it's most likely because you didn't hire help. And I'm not talking about one of these crazy gurus online that says, I'll get you a job in no time, but you get a credible service, you find somebody that can actually help you, and you can avoid all these scenarios and you can get a job easier. There's job listings out there. You just need to do it the right way. And if you're not doing it on a regular, you're not going to know how to do it. And you're not going to know the ins and outs on what works best, what they like, what they don't like. And so it's like me. I don't know what kind of oil my car wants. I don't know how to do a brake job. I don't know all these things. Could I figure it out? Of course I can. You can go on YouTube University and learn anything. But is it worth your time? And that's what it comes down to. And that's where a lot of people on YouTube don't understand. Is it worth your time to do that? And the question's gonna be is, are you going to invest to get ahead of the line? And a lot of people on YouTube in my comment section would probably disagree. And that's why I'm just like, hey, you should really consider, because my bills aren't going to be due and I don't have a job. So I'm good. But yours might not. And so then you're going to be in trouble. So you got to really, really consider if you're in this situation of hiring expert help. You don't need to reach out to me. You can reach out to a whole bunch of other people. But if you do need help, just shoot an email and I can see if I can refer you to somebody that I know that offers a good product. But you just got to be thinking, is it going to further my career? Is it going to help? And like I said at the beginning, I was at the belief that it wasn't, because 2 years ago, like I said, 3 years ago, people were hiring just because, and you could play hardball with salary negotiations. Now you need to come up with true comps. Hey, this is what the range is. This is what my local pay is. What are the benefits that I'm getting? And all these other things. And it's great to have somebody that can guide you through this and talk you off a ledge and say, hey, just because they've gotten back to you yet doesn't mean that you're going to, that you actually didn't get the job. But most people are just of the mentality, I just want to do it myself, and I've did this before, and I'm just going to buy one of these AI tools. And I'm telling you, if you're going to use one of these AI tools, I've seen how these AI tools work. Because Ali's in the career space, and I get ads. So I manage all these social media, and I get a whole bunch of inquiries about, hey, we'll pay you thousands of dollars to promote one of these AI tools to your audience. And I always say, let me see what it sends out. And it just takes your resume, doesn't really change it, and it just sends it to, it just drops it onto everybody. So it takes it and it just sends it to hundreds a day, hundreds of job listings a day that you're not qualified for or that you're overqualified for. It doesn't even check, it just sends it in. And so now you're like, I'm just gonna do it with GPT. Well, don't you think by now that a recruiter that sees resumes every bloody day knows how a GPT resume looks? Probably. And I made a video about that a little earlier in a little while, that you should probably still change it to that it fits your tone of voice and not just have it spit out with GPT. And if you're gonna do it with GPT, better spend the money of actually doing with the pro version, not with the free one, because there's people that do the free one and they're sitting at home just doing it. And now the question is am I right for a career coach or something? And it really depends. So if you're trying to get a server job, a retail job, you probably don't need that much help. But if you want to be a manager, you want to be getting paid above market average, getting paid $80,000, $90,000, you should look into it. I don't think in server jobs that you need a resume. You need to showcase your work, but it's all about who you know. And if you're going to get a high paying job, you should probably invest into something, because you're going to make the ROI is there, right? But what do I know, right? People are going to tear me apart. But hey, this is the world we're living in. This is the world that we're seeing. High unemployment, people can't find jobs, and then they say, oh my gosh, it's the president, it's the economy. And I would say, yeah, but you can still get it. You just need to be the best qualified candidate and use all the tools that are available to you and increase your odds. And if I told you, if I have a secret strategy to go to a casino and gamble, and you would increase your chances by 10-15% to get it, you would take up on that bet, and you would probably, and if the odds are in your favor, it's starting to make sense, right? And I'm not telling you to gamble. I don't, even though I live in Las Vegas, I don't gamble. I don't like losing money. But all of a sudden, the odds are in your favor and you're going to see it. And people that used services like that constantly kind of come back and say, hey, I need more help. Because all of a sudden, they're seeing that, hey, this is something that provides a ton of value, and it gets him ahead. It gets you ahead with promotions. If you hire somebody, a career coach, to help you with promotions, it helps you with getting a job. It's almost like a shortcut. And yes, you can read books and you can do all that. And that's probably the same. If you love reading, you should probably read a book from somebody to how to better your career and do all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about all this. If you haven't, like and subscribe. I talk about the economy, talk about the job market, talk about finance, and I love you guys. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. And if you want something, if you want to shoot me an email about a topic you're seeing, let me know and shoot me an email. I'm always here to have conversations. I love you guys. Talk to you in the next one.